From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann.
On this week's The Disney Crush Podcast, I am joined by Glen Kessler, who's going to ask me, and we're going to tell you about the Weight Magic app. Well, it's not an app, but we'll explain that. The Weight Magic program, it's a competitor of Stand By Skipper. Is it better than Stand By Skipper? Maybe. And you'll find out on episode 440 of the Disney Crush Podcast. Hey, Glen, it's good to see you in person. Well, not in person, but virtually. I haven't seen you since November, and I don't know when I'm going to see you again.
I know. I miss seeing you. I'm thankful for the time that we have together. But yeah, at this point, I don't think we have a trip planned.
No, we got nothing.
So,
This
is the best we can do. It's just staring at
I got Golden Girls and Girls and Wine and Dine, but you're not included in any of that. Even though you want to infiltrate Golden Girls. I know you do.
I am your Stanley. I want to.
Yes, I'm Mrs. Roper and he's Stanley.
Now that we've made it weird, you want to bring it back?
We always make it weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell everybody what did ChatGPT say about Glen Kessler?
I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, it said you were like the epitome of a crusher, something like that.
Doesn't know me very well at all.
No.
Redefining crusher, maybe. I don't know. Now, if crusher, as we've kind of come to define it, means, staying in bed, chilling, like strolling into the park half day, enjoying ourselves. I am, I'm going to fail miserably by that.
This is what ChatGPT said about the Disney Crush, and it said standout guests. Glen Kessler, number one, standout guest, one of the most frequent return guests and recognizable voices in the Crush community, shares detailed trip reports, Run Disney experiences, Disney strategy, food and drink insights, and strong opinions. Often cited, I don't know who this is that's often citing you as one of the best conversational guests because he's informative. They don't know you without being over the top.
Yeah. If you were trying to do a commercial for ChatGPT, you failed miserably. That is the worst review, least accurate review ever.
And if there's one classic crushy guest to start with, he's it.
Yeah. Well, please. Now I think we all need to switch to Claude, Gemini, or anything else. ChatGPT.
Yes, ChatGPT knows nothing.
Oh my goodness.
You're not over the top at all.
Strong opinions. I'll go with that, but I think that's about the only point that it got right there. No, I mean I love a lounge and I love eating good food, and I know those are crusher mottos as well. But I'm Mr. Sleep 4 hours when I'm at Disney.
Yes,
and and definitely not short with my words. So let's keep this podcast under an hour and see if we can download some very important information for our listeners.
So this trip that I went on this weekend, I was not very crushery. I was roped. I did early entry and I was staying until the fireworks, and I did every ride other than like Dumbo and Barnstormer, but I could have if I wanted to.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a trip. I was going with my stepdaughters, and they hadn't been in a long time. I was telling Dave on last week's podcast, they have not been since Galaxy's Edge has been open. So before 2019.
Wow. Yeah. That's pre-pandemic. Yeah. That feels like a lifetime ago.
I think it was October 2018. We went to see Hanson. So I think we just went to Epcot and Hollywood for that trip. So
Amy Rhodes is yelling at the podcast right now that they were not there in October. They were there in September. How dare you?
No, it was October. They're always there around Halloween because they're known to wear Halloween costumes on their Halloween performance.
Oh, how cute is that?
Yeah, one year they came out as all Avengers. One year they came out as stormtroopers, and yeah.
Well, that's adorable. I had no idea. Oh, they're cute.
They're known for that. So I wanted to maximize this trip, and I bought lightning lanes, and I wanted to make sure that they got in the best experience they could possibly get in. You and I have both tried Standby Skipper in the past, and while we liked it, there were some, I don't know that I'd say limitations. It usually got me everything I wanted, but it wasn't as, I had been hearing a lot of great things about Weight Magic, and I wanted to try it, especially the fact that it would start improving your return times right from the 7-day mark when you made them. It would start playing with the times, trying to bump them earlier, or trying to bump them to where you wanted them. So say you got a morning return time, but you didn't want to hit the park until, after lunch or something, it would push it there. So, and it did it for me. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight.
Yeah. All right. So it sounds like we're already almost into it. So can I ask real quick? Cause I have not used it. I've not been to the park, and I know about it mostly from you and our community talking about it, but this is going to be a learning experience for me. So can I ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
All right. So where do I start? Like, is this an app? Is it a standalone app? Is it a website? Is it a physical product? Is it a medallion you wear around your neck? How does this work? What is this?
So it's run by the people who run Thrill Data, and Thrill Data is a website that they really get into the weeds, kind of like Glen Kessler does over at Touring Plans, where they really look at wait times. If you go on the Thrill Data website, you can see graphs and historical wait times and when lightning lanes are dropped, because a lot of lightning lanes are dropped same day, and they do these drops throughout the day, and they know exactly when they're going to drop more Slinky Dog and when they're going to drop more Frozen or whatever it is. So this website has so much information. It also will tell you how much the lightning lanes are going to cost on your vacation, like what the prices are, because it's surge pricing, and so that helps you budget for them. But they really get into the weeds with some of the statistics they do over there.
It says here on the website that Thrill Data has been operating since spring of 2019. So they've been doing this for 6 years before they launched this app. This app or this service, this Weight Magic, was only released in mid to late 2025. So it's not that old, but the company that is facilitating all this deep learning has been going.
Yeah, they've been around a while. It is a website. And let me tell you, when you first set it up, I would recommend going on a computer or a laptop and setting up your initial list of preferences, because it's easier to really see it on the computer. They do not have an app as of yet at the time of recording, but I just made a shortcut, like you can't see it. I made a widget on my phone for Weight Magic. You can't see it there. And that's very easy to do. I don't know. I'm sure you know how to do it, but if our listeners don't know how to do it, you can look it up online, how to make a website into a widget. And it literally I press this. It's just like when you press the My Disney Experience app, it goes right to the Weight Magic, page. So, that's what I did. And, so it acted like an app for me, because I made it like an app, but it is a website, and you can get there from your browser. I just think it was easier for me to make a little shortcut on my home screen.
I love that. That's a hack already. That was a little tip. So very smart.
I would definitely suggest buying it so you'll have it right after you make your lightning lanes. So at the 7-day mark, if you're on property, at the 3-day mark, if you're off property.
Gotcha. So maybe purchase it one day ahead of time, get familiar with it. If there's any glitches or you can't purchase it or something like that, then it can start working immediately after you get your trip reservations. Yeah.
My day to get my lightning lanes was April 4th at 7 a.m. And by 7:12, it was already sending me your time for, Toy Story Mania has been moved from 1:05 to, and sometimes it's 5-minute increments, like 1:05 to 1:00. And then, but sometimes it'll jump hours. It was moved from 1:05 to 10:30 in the morning. So it might move in little increments, but it might jump significantly. So the one thing I will say about it is it had more selection of times options than Standby Skipper. I think Standby Skipper had earliest,
3 or 4
AM, PM, next available, or something like that. This has early as possible, and then it has early morning, which is like 2 hours, like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., or late morning, or early afternoon, or all afternoon. The early and the late are like 2-hour windows, and the all morning is like a 4-hour window. And you could put it between times. So I'm only going to be in the park today from noon, and then I have a dinner reservation at 5. So you could put in your own custom window, which is what I did for my Magic Kingdom day, because we were arriving that day and I knew we weren't going to be there at park open. I gave myself, I said probably like 10:30. I told them not to make any return times before 10:30. And so it did. And for example, my Tiana return time at 7 a.m. 7 days before was 1:05. And by the time I got there on the following Saturday, they had moved it all the way to 10:30, which is as early as I wanted it.
Wow.
My Haunted Mansion was 2:05. They also moved that to 10:30 in the morning. My Buzz Lightyear was at 6:30, originally. And by the time I got there, they had moved it to 1:10 in the afternoon. And my Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was 7:30 p.m. and they got it to 5:30 p.m.
Are you aware if it changed it multiple times to get it that early, or just one time it found it?
No, they moved a lot of them multiple times. I don't even know it. It moved it all throughout the week and day of. Even day of, I was getting changes. I think that the Buzz Lightyear might have happened day of. I think it was still 5:30 until I arrived at the park, and at some point during the day, it had moved it to 1:10, which was perfect.
Yeah. I think most listeners are probably already going to come to this conversation with a bank of knowledge from the times that we've talked about Standby Skipper. But for those who haven't, I think it goes without saying, but just to say it, that this app is constantly working in the background, resetting. I remember we had figured out Standby Skipper was looking every 8 minutes. This one maybe is looking more frequently. I don't know.
I don't know how often it looks. But if you remember the days of Fast Passes constantly refreshing your phone, that's what this is doing. This is refreshing, and you don't have to, and you could enjoy your family. And I will honestly say, it did. I did not have to take this phone out. Another thing I did was, if you go into your phone settings, you can make text alerts from a particular person make a particular sound. So I went in and changed the Wait Magic text signal to like a magical dingle dingle, so that I knew, I would think we got a new return time, and so I always knew it was Wait Magic. So then I would look at my phone so that I wasn't in my phone.
Another amazing tip, Toni-Ann.
It was like a fairy wand, just sound.
Did it make you feel good when you kept hearing that? I bet.
Oh, yes.
That's like the Pavlovian, like, oh, now I get to go on a ride.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Dingle, dingle, people. That's the secret.
Well, I can't make the sound, but it was like a magic wand. I went in my Apple settings and found a sound that sounded magical to me.
All right, that'll be the next TDC, game is make the dingle dingle sound.
Dingle dingle.
Whoever can get closest to the dingle dingle sound is going to win.
So
this is amazing. So it's constantly booking for the length of your stay. How many days were you there?
I was there I was in the parks 3 days. So I was there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
So can we talk a little bit about pricing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It looks like on their website, it looks like they have 6 different lengths of stay that you can select from. And I'd be curious which one you selected from. You want me to run through them real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like the shortest one is 2 days. So you can, if you only need this for a weekend, right? A Saturday, Sunday or something like that, 2 days, $25.
Okay.
There is a week long. So obviously 7 days, they're $30. 10 days. So you got a little longer trip, right? $35. And I don't think they have to, you don't have to go every day, 10 days in a row.
But I would think like if you were doing a trip and you wanted it to do the work a few days prior to your arrival, you might want to do the 10-day, have it working in the background pre-arrival and then throughout your trip.
So that was going to be my question for you was, did you purchase, because you had a 3-day trip, but you were arriving, you were staying on property. So 7 days ahead of your 3-day trip, you wanted it to start working. Did you buy the 10-day?
No, I bought the year.
Okay. We'll get there.
Go ahead. Because financially for me, I go multiple times a year and I go with a lot of different people. And this is good for up to 20 people.
Yes.
So your group might change. You might go with your family one trip. You might go with your girlfriends another trip. You might go with just your partner another trip. So, that's why I think this is a great value. Now, Standby Skipper, I'll remember, was $25 for 1 day. It was $45 for the week. How much did you say it was for the week for this one?
The week is only $30 for this one.
And I think that was it. And it was for up to 12 people.
I think you're right. I think those are the only options you had. So
it's
there. Well, so lingering question, and I don't know if this will be answered, if this is something you know the answer to, but if you were to have a 3-day trip like you had, could you do the 7-day or would you have to do the 10 days because you're staying on property?
You can do whatever you want. They don't care if you do if they make the adjustments before, but I think it would behoove you to let them make the adjustments before you arrive.
If you're coming for just the weekend, right? And you only need it for the 2 days, are you only then, if you buy the 2-day, you're only getting it on the 2 days? You do not get the 7 days prior?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. That's a good piece of information. All right. There's a monthly option, which is $45. So these jumps are very minimal in the price.
That would be good for like our friends from the UK that come for an extended stay.
Yeah, $45 for the whole month. And then only a $30 jump, $75 for the whole year. That sounds like the one you got.
Right. And
then there's the
Mac Daddy.
The Mac Daddy of them all. They have a lifetime. You can purchase this Thrill Data, Weight Magic for lifetime for $300. That's 4 years of the yearly rate.
I want to see how long they sustain before I'm going to invest $300.
Exactly. It's a new product.
I think,
who knows if they're going to even have Lightning Lane multipass working this way. Disney changes their games.
Right. Disney changes everything. I will say that I am impressed by something they offer, that if you use it for a week and you decide you love it, they will let you upgrade and it says they will put your purchase price towards that level you want to buy. So if you go for a week or by the month and you decide, you know what, I'm going to get I want the whole year, they'll let you do the whole year.
That's very smart. And that's very Disney. Like that's something Disney does. If you want to take your park ticket and turn it into an annual pass, they'll apply the funds. So that's a wonderful option that you have available. It looked like you had to make a phone call for that or send an email for that.
We either call them or email them for them to be able to prorate your purchase if you want to upgrade. I will tell you, I paid $70 a week and a half ago. So it sounds like they just raised the price $5 like since I bought it. So I don't know.
Get in while the getting's good, people. Get in on the ground floor of this because you're locked in now for the whole year at that price. They're not going to charge you extra. It does say, as I'm looking at the cancellation and refund policy, that some of them are non-refundable. The monthly, yearly, and lifetime plans are non-refundable, but it looks like the other ones are subject to a prorated refund at the discretion of the company. So don't expect it, but that could happen if you. I guess that's if you're unhappy with the experience and you don't want to use it, but not for the monthly, yearly, or lifetime. You're
Well, that's where trip insurance comes in.
see episode whatever for that, right?
About the trip insurance.
3 weeks ago, or yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. And you already answered. We don't need to get one for every person in the party. One person gets this, and they can use this on 20
For 20
of
people.
their friends, or including themselves, I guess. Parties.
Yeah. So Tori was there. Some of our days overlapped. And so I was able to help her with her lightning lanes while she was there. And she's still there. And she's actually got another day. Weight Magic fixed her times and probably will fix them more until she gets, I think tomorrow is the day that she's going. I was able to, her and Joe are only doing they have a crazy day where they're eating out a lot and they're just going to be in the park from like noon, and they have a Topolino's reservation at 5. So I just gave Weight Magic this little window, and it pushed them all of her return times. She has did I write it down what she has on the 15th? Yeah, she has Pirates, 7, I can't read my own handwriting. Pirates, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, and Tron. And originally they were spread between 1:15 and 4:45, and she had to be at Topolino's at 5, so that wasn't going to work. And so they whittled it down, and now I think they're between 12:35 and 3:00.
Very cool.
So,
and you did gloss over, it sounds like, because you read off 4 names, that it can do multi-pass and single pass.
Yes, it does single pass too. So I had Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Rise of the Resistance, and Guardians when I was there. My Guardians time I got right off the bat was excellent. It was already 9:25 in the morning. But my Rise was in the evening, and my Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was in the evening, and it pushed them both. Rise, I wound up at 3:30, which was perfect.
Do you know, I hate to put you on the spot, if you didn't make your 3 initial Lightning Lane multi-passes 7 days in advance, would it make it for you, the initial one, or can it only manipulate once you've created one?
Yeah, no, you have to go in and buy Lightning multi-pass yourself. Same with single. Mm-hmm. You have to buy it yourself. And once you've paid Disney, then it can manipulate the times. And once you're there and you do your first tap in, it'll book more for you. And there really is a learning curve. I do have to stress this because there's something called modify until stopped, just modify. So it'll modify at once. Modify till stopped, modify. There was something else. I don't remember what the other thing was. Let me just, I'm going to look.
Yeah. Like modify until you get what you want. Yeah. Cause you don't want it shifting around on you. You're on your way over there. You've crafted a plan and it's still moving around under your feet.
It defaults. It keeps trying to get as early as possible. So if you say, I want to ride between noon and 4, and it gets 3:30, it'll still keep trying to get it to noon. It keeps pushing it earlier.
Like a dog you're playing fetch with, and it just won't stop.
Right. So if it's exactly the perfect spot for you, pause it or erase the search. You can delete the search or you can pause the search. And I found myself doing that a lot because it was being too efficient. I was like, no, I want to eat lunch. So, book, then modify continuously. Wait. Create a search. A new booking, which is what it'll just book it for you. So, and it won't modify it at all. Book, then modify, which pauses it after it modifies. Book and then modify until stopped. You have to go in and stop it from continuously modifying. So that's it. That's what it is. And so that's the book, then modify are the ones that it makes day of. Then they have modify until stopped. And now they have a new feature, the attraction swap. So if you have Living with the Land and you'd really like Soarin', you can tell it, and these are like your pre-selections, you can tell it to try to swap it. I have Living, but I'd rather have Soarin'. Can you try to swap it for me? and it will. I never had to do that. I had everything I wanted at the 7-day mark. But, so if you're making them at 3 days, there's a good chance that something you really want, like Slinky Dog, isn't available. So maybe you have Star Tour. Now that would be a tier 1. So, maybe you have a Tower Terror and you want to flop it. So no, Tower Terror is a tier 2. What's a tier 1 over there?
When Muppets comes back,
I guess so.
There's not many, I think, right?
I don't know. What are the tier 1s? Now it's going to make me crazy.
Toy Story Mania, maybe number 1 now?
I don't think so. Wait, it'll tell me. If I go to Hollywood, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Smuggler's Run is a tier 1. And Slinky Dog Dash. Those are the tier 1s.
That's it.
So maybe you got Smuggler's Run and you really want Slinky Dog.
Hopefully it will make that switch. Good Lord. And
Yeah.
slap you in the face for, going after Smuggler's Run with your tier 1. Come on now.
Well, some people don't know better.
Hey, there are a lot of options, customizability, a lot of bells and whistles you're talking about here. You're clearly the sensei. You're the genius. You know Disney inside and out. How easy do you think this learning curve would be for normies and people who are not live and breathe Disney, and then maybe they are only going once or twice? You think this was easy enough to learn?
I'll tell you what I did. I did look at videos. I looked at YouTubes and TikToks about it. I also joined their group. There is a Weight Magic group on Facebook, and people ask what you would, they ask questions, and there's really no stupid questions in this group. Nobody's judgmental, and reading other people's questions helped me to learn from the answers. And Weight Magic is in this group, the people that run Weight Magic, and they reply to questions. And if people are having technical trouble, people will put something on the group and they're like, DM me your account, your username, and we will help you figure this out. And they do it. That's how user friendly they are. But I would join the Weight Magic group, look at the questions and look at the answers. A lot of times the answers come directly from Weight Magic and they explain it. But if you don't understand something, you can reach out to them and they're very responsive. So
that's incredible. I actually, as we were in our prep, getting ready for today's episode, I did go onto their Facebook page and saw just hours prior to me looking there today, someone said, I've done my research, but I need help. Explain it to me like a 5-year-old. And someone from Thrill Data and a couple of other helpful individuals in the group did share and really walk them through. And it was very helpful. And I love that. It sounds like, since Thrill Data has been going for 6 years, that this is a robust company. They have a lot of staff that are knowledgeable and familiar. This does not sound like a fly-by-night startup that just, is interested in taking your money and throwing some AI at you. It sounds like they really are invested in helping you learn and improve your vacation. And again, at a very good cost. So
yeah. And now Disney has changed things a couple of times that were hiccups for both Standby Skipper and Weight Magic. And usually it's just a programming thing and they just have to fix the program and then they can get back up when this happens. I will tell you, the last time Disney changed that program, Weight Magic was back up online in 2 days, and Standby Skipper, it took like a week for them to get it back. So I don't know what that says, but you might want to keep that in mind.
It says sign up for Weight Magic, I think is what it says. That is incredible.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what the other thing that I thought of when you said, so people on Standby Skipper, they say that, they go to a Blue Umbrella for assistance. And if Blue Umbrellas see Standby Skipper and your friends, they're hesitant to help you, or they kind of give you a warning or a slap on the wrist. You and I didn't have that experience. You went to a Blue Umbrella, but you're Glen Kessler, and the person probably knew that you're the, most number one crusher in the world.
And that was a negative, actually. So I overcame that with my child.
But they did help you. But people are saying they have had some cast members that will be like, oh no, you're using Standby Skipper. We can't help you. Weight Magic isn't stupid like that. Well, maybe I shouldn't call them stupid. Weight Magic has very wisely, they just give people regular names. So my friend from my account, his name is Michael Patel. And I became friends with Michael Patel and told my other friends to become friends with Michael Patel. And now that is Weight Magic. And Michael Patel is my person. Your person might be Sally Jenkins. So they're using, they're probably using AI to come up with these things, but they're changing the name. It's not always if it's not going to always be Michael Patel. It's going to be somebody different, so that Disney doesn't say, "Oh, if they're friends with Michael Patel." But first of all, Michael Patel is a very common name, so they can't.
I want that job. I want the job of coming up with the names.
I'm sure it's not a real person that comes up with the name.
Sitting there just churning out these names.
You're friends with Glen Kessler? We can't help you.
Yeah, well, lucky me. I would get Glen Kessler. They would come up with that name, and I'd be like, "Which one is me? I don't know." This is sounding really good, Toni-Ann. Are there any negatives that you had from your experience that you would flag and say, pump the brake? Because it sounds like it's winning. It's checking every box.
Well, you know what happened? We stayed at Magic Kingdom very late the first day, and we wound up oversleeping the next morning, and we were not going to make it to Hollywood for our 9:30 Tower of Terror and our 9:50 Toy Story Mania. So I was very nervous. And they tell you that Disney gives you like
an hour 50
pad.
Is what I heard. Yeah.
But I was still hesitant. So I told it to make my return times after 10, and it overcompensated and it got me like 6 o'clock. It took my Toy Story that was perfect in the morning and moved it all the way to 6 o'clock at night. But I was just patient. We got on the bus, and by the time I got to Hollywood Studios, they were all back into acceptable times. My Tower of Terror was like at 10:40. My Toy Story Mania was 12:30. So I could see where you can screw yourself up, but it actually fixed it for me pretty quickly. But I think sometimes you just have to trust it. I don't know. I know that's hard for you. You had that problem with Stand by Skipper. You would see that it got you a ride at 8 o'clock at night. And you don't want to still be there. But this program won't do that. This program, you can tell it, I'm leaving the park at 4. And yeah.
Was that a little user error maybe that it made it that late? Did you not limit the end time? Or
I didn't limit the end time. Okay. I just said, make it after 10.
So it sounds like, you do really have to understand how this program thinks to be able to strategize and say, make it at 10, but not after 2 p.m. or something like that, something reasonable within your window. This sounds incredible. I think there are so many positives here. I actually found one other positive, which is totally random, but really wonderful. If anyone is still making their choices one versus the other, they give donations to Give Kids the World. A unspecified percentage of every purchase goes towards the nonprofit Give Kids the World, which helps kids, who are receiving treatment have a better experience. So that's really wonderful. They're over $1,000 at this point. The more people use this product, the more they said that they will make donations to that. So just a really nice little extra bonus perk on top of everything else. Anything else that you want to share? Because, boy, I want ChatGPT to know that I am very efficient with my time. We don't go long on these podcasts. Toni-Ann, anything else you want to tell us?
I'm trying to think what else happened. Not really. I don't think we, like I said, it helped Tori a lot with tomorrow, because she was only going to be in the park for 4 hours. And
by the way, that's amazing. You're not there. You're sitting at home, right? You're at home. She's using your purchase. She didn't purchase it on her own. She's using yours because she's your friend. So those 20 people are really benefiting from your one purchase. Yes?
Right. Now, and I haven't figured out yet if it's 20 people total. Like if I unfriend, like my daughters aren't going back this year. If I take them off, I don't know if I could put somebody else on. And I don't know if it's like 20 people in a trip or 20 people total over the year. I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, I look forward to testing that, and hopefully I'm one of the 20. We got to get that trip booked, so I'm in the 20. Geez.
You and I have no plans together.
I know. I'm going to have to sneak down there so I get this 20. I'm not paying $75 now. I'd have paid 70, but not 75. Goodness. No, I think this is a product that sounds amazing. And I do have a trip coming up in a few months, and this sounds wonderful. We have a fairly large group that's going. We might almost be hitting 20 with that group.
Cool.
And so one of us making this purchase probably does improve everyone's experience. Obviously, we are adding price, right? So you have to pay for your tickets. You have to pay for your lightning lanes,
right.
Whether it's multipass or the individuals. And then you're on top of this paying the $75 annual fee for this. So this is.
But truthfully, I paid $75 for 3 Rise of the Resistance single passes.
When you put it into perspective like that, this is pennies. Yeah. This is nothing. And it improves your experience tremendously. Oh. And I got to tell you, Toni-Ann, because you know me very well, I am someone who will just sit on the app all day, every day, because I'm trying so hard to make everyone's day the best day that it possibly can be. I will lose myself and almost take myself out of the joy of the experience because I'm trying to improve the experience for everyone else.
Right.
This is a godsend for someone like me because it's going to allow me to be present.
It really did help me. It really did help me with that because I wasn't on my phone modifying. I wasn't sitting, like I remember sitting in the Frozen sing-along on my phone modifying, instead of paying attention to the performance, in the past, in other trips, or in line modifying, and not being present with my family and friends. So this has really helped me. I think you're still going to be in your phone. I don't think you could trust anybody.
I still love the thrill of the hunt, to be honest, of that part. There's some like caveman brain part of me that does love to do that. But yeah, when I want to be present, I will have the safety of knowing that this is working.
Yeah.
From your accounts, working very well. And it's not just your accounts. I've seen some of the online reviews. It's tremendous. If you go to their website, folks, the page is littered with testimonials and statements from users. I think the first thing you'll see at the top of the page isn't how it works, but it's a testimonial right at the top. And that really does kind of speak to the whole, the sureness of this product that people are finding that it works.
And keep in mind, so you're becoming friends with whoever that Michael Patel or whatever the name is. They're not going to go in and they don't have access to your credit card. They're not going to make dining orders under your account. They're not actually going into your account. They're just making lightning lanes for you as if they were your friend. Like Glenn and I have gone on trips together and he's made me lightning lanes and he's gotten me, virtual queues, things like that. It's just like that, but he can't go in and cancel my dining, right? If you're not the lead guest, you're not canceling my dining or my hotel reservation. The worst they can do is cancel a lightning lane, but they're not going to because why would they do that to their reputation? They're gonna make your lightning lanes better. So
I guess we should say what can it not do? It cannot book your dining, bippity boppity boutique, special extras, things like that.
Oh, wait, but I will tell you this.
When you sign up for the plan, you do.
When you sign up for the plan, it gives you alerts like dining alerts, like Mouse Dining does. And so the really nice thing about me changing the ringtone to dingle, dingle, dingle was that I knew right away when I got an alert that Beaches and Cream was available, that I was trying to get Space 220 and it messaged me at 2:00 in the morning while I was asleep. I didn't hear the dingle, dingle, dingle at 2:00 in the morning. But so it does dining alerts. It does tour alerts. If you're trying to get into that hard to get Rhino tour or the Starlight Safari, Bibbidi Bobbidi, same thing. Yeah, they do alerts as well. And they do alerts. So say you're going at the 3-day mark and there's no Guardians of the Galaxy left. They do alerts when if a Guardians becomes available or a Rise of the Resistance, they will do alerts for that too.
So not only is Weight Magic, the app, getting you the Lightning Lane multi-pass and the single pass, but you're also, when you sign up for these, you're getting Thrill Data Plus or whatever their membership program is called, which then gives you access to all these other perks like the alerts. And so this makes sense. Now that we're having this conversation, this makes a case not for the 2-day, the week, the 10-day, but maybe the month or the year, because you're booking those dining reservations and those alerts that can be hard to get much earlier than the lightning lane. So if you have maybe 2 trips planned within a calendar year, that yearly plan might make a lot of sense because you can look for more than just your lightning lanes when you're there.
That's true. You're so wise, Glenn. Has anybody ever told you that?
I learned from you. That's it. I wasn't wise before I met you.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you, but I'm so glad I did it, and it really did help me stay off my phone, which is very hard for me.
Well,
So.
I feel a lot smarter for having talked to you today, and for you asking me to do a little research and learn about this product, and I can't wait to try it on our next trip.
Oh, Glenn, it's always so good to have you on the show. As ChatGPT says, you are a perennial favorite of all of our listeners.
Well, I guess ChatGPT,
except maybe 2 or 3, and I know who those people are that don't like you, so it's okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Toni-Ann. I love chatting with you. I love learning from you. I love just laughing with you, and I can't wait to see you in the play.
All right. Thank you for joining, Glenn, and thank you for everyone listening tonight. We will see you next time on the Disney Crush Podcast.
I think that's it. All right.
Turkey and truth has spoken!
Put a check on that. Can you do that, Dave? Can you put a check on that one?